Midfield enforcer, Jani Atanasov, could be on his way to Celtic. While the news continues, over the signing of Sead Hakabanovi, another rumour hit Celtic social media on Friday evening. Croatian journalist, Izak Ante Sucic, claims Celtic are looking to sign Hadjuk defensive midfielder Jani Atanasov. Celtic fans have been holding tight, hoping the boys will bring in a defensive midfielder before the end of the window. The trail went very quiet after Aaron Mooy was signed for the Celtic midfielder earlier this summer. However, the Australian can't be categorised as a robust defensive midfielder. It's a position many believe is the key to holding off some of Europe's top teams. Having that protection for the defence, but also a player who can help progress play. In the SPFL, Celtic don't need that sort of cover, but in Europe, it could be vital. Atanasov, 22, is a North Macedonia international who is now in the final year of his Hadjuk deal, and as Izak reports, the club is open to selling the player. The transfer window closes at the beginning of September, so there's still time to get a couple of more deals in the bag. Back to the story from yesterday, Rubin Kazan winger Sead Hakabanovic. Rubin Kazan has accepted that the winger will be leaving the side this summer, with 4 clubs discussing a possible deal worth under £6 million. No figure has yet been agreed, despite conflicting reports suggesting that the deal was essentially completed. Angie refused to give any insight into the negotiations, but didn't rule out a possible move for the international player. So, Celtic are in negotiations with the player, but a final fee is yet to be agreed upon with his club. He has seemingly undergone his Celtic medical today, suggesting the club is confident of striking a deal with the Russian club. Playing on both wings and behind the striker, Celtic are essentially signing 3 players for the price of 1. In other Celtic FC news, Postecoglou challenged Taylor to raise his playing levels again, and heralded his attitude and application in training, and insists that the Scotland internationalist has survived where others have failed. The 56-year-old said, "For every footballer, their journey is never sort of linear in that it starts at a low base and finishes at a high base. You have got your ups and downs, and sometimes you learn from times when you have to struggle. If you don't have resilience and tenacity, because at some point in your career you'll get tested, and for a lot of players it is a recurring theme in their careers, but it is your ability to overcome that allows you to take your football career on an upward trajectory. All players want to take their careers to the highest level, but I think too often players think that it is a smooth ascent, and it never is. You have got to go through ups and downs, and you have to show resilience, and you have got to convince people, and you have got to prove yourself all the time. That never changes. My experience with Greg has only been over the last 12 months, and from the moment I arrived he is one of the few who stayed on. From the start, he was an eager learner and a hard worker in training, and they are the main characteristics that I look at. There is at times a misconception about the kind of players that would fit into my system. There are very few players who wouldn't fit into the kind of football that I want to play. There is not a footballer on the planet who does not want to play this kind of football, where you have the ball and be dominant and those kinds of things. Apart from their skill set, the key criteria for us is that they are coachable and that part of their learning capacity is being resilient. It's a tough road to take, but Greg has got that, and the challenge for him now is to keep improving and to keep getting better. He is still a young man, there are still areas of his game he will want to improve, and I know he can, and my role and the club's role is to make sure the environment keeps pushing all our players to be the best they can be. Remember, we never stop. And on that note, have a great day, Celtic fans all around the world.
Roll up to the party, roll up to